So your kids may have graduated from college, but you're still not an empty nester. Turns out millennials are coming back home to live with their parents now more than ever, especially here in New York and New Jersey. And joining us now to talk more about this is real estate authority, Chris Cabanillas. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
First, tell us, what is it? I mean, we just did a story recently about this. Why are millennials coming back home?
Oh, well, that's real simple. It's very expensive to live out on your own. And so what's happening is that kids are coming back out of school with a lot of debt, plus everything thrown on top, other bills that they have to suddenly, pay on their own. Suddenly, they're realizing that they can't afford to pay rent outside anymore. Right. And it's particularly tough, too, because the job market's very difficult in such that there's a lot of pressure for pay and a lot of demand and infighting, if you will, for competition for those jobs. And so you have a huge down push on pay as well, and so people are just finding it much more affordable to live at home.
Wow, so you said, even the rents are high, but so I guess buying a house is even more out of the question. Is that right? What's better? Should you buy? Should you rent? What should you do?
Yeah, well, I think certainly it depends on the circumstance, but if you're going to be there for a general 7-year period of time or longer, certainly buying has its advantages. You're going to get the tax write-offs. You can build up equity. The market's starting to improve, so that's always a good thing. However, a lot of people, they don't know where they're going to be. And if you're going to have those, be moving around, there's going to be transactional costs every time that you sell. And so when you add up all those, buying's not such a good deal. And
it's also the down payment. College kids coming out of college aren't going to have that down payment to buy something, so a lot of times they're forced to rent right off the bat.
But also, I mean, there are a lot of programs now that with smaller down payments, somebody can actually get into a house. There's some programs as low as 3.5%. But with closing costs and everything else, you still need probably around 10% of the purchase price.
Right. So, all right, it's a presidential election. Yeah. How does that affect the market?
There's a lot of apprehension, especially on the higher end market, the higher priced homes. From what I'm seeing around here in the tri-state area, you have areas such as Greenwich, Connecticut, and more affluent areas like that, where people are really nervous to be putting down a lot of money on a home, especially when there's been a lot of changes in finance, and as you know, in the tri-state area here, that's a lot of the more affluent markets. A lot of the people work in finance, and what's happened is that whereas they used to get cash bonuses and be able to close on these properties come the springtime, now they're getting stock, and that stock has provisions which don't let them switch it into cash that quickly. And so people are really hesitant. Plus, they don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of rhetoric right now. It's going to be Hillary, it's going to be Trump, and a lot of people are saying different things, and nobody really knows how it's going to play out for them. And so people are kind of taking it easy right now. I think we're going to see a big improvement come next buying season once that's more settled.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, thanks, Chris, so much for joining us today.